Coming up next on Out of Focus, from local coffee houses to the White House, check out President Clinton's favorite band, Daddy-O and the Sax Maniacs. Plus, we saved Lori's skin and tattooed you. And the second annual Feast and Foam, Elmer's style, all coming your way next.
We're Daddy-O and the Sax Maniacs. Watch us tonight on Out of Focus.
Beer has come a long way in the last few years. With so many styles and brands out, there are enough of them to make your head spin. But it's not all gulping and guzzling. It's become an art form, so to speak. And we sent our reporter, Sean the Shark, down to Elmer Suds in Wilkes-Barre to find out how the right beer and the right food can make the ultimate combination.
Hi, I'm Sean the Shark, and today we're going to take a different look at beer. We've all been known to overindulge in this social lubricant, but today we take a different view of beer and enjoy the taste of beer as we're at the second annual Feast and Foam at Elmer Suds on Out of Focus.
What we're going to do this afternoon is try several different beers, some of them quite rare, and we're going to also tell you a little bit about the beers, some history about the styles, and tell you a little bit about why we paired them with the certain foods that we have this afternoon also. Anyway, the first beer, well, I'll tell you what, before we get started, I think we need to do a quick Beer 101, because I'm sure a lot of us have varying degrees of knowledge about beer, and we want to have a nice foundation to start out on. So what I'd like to do is basically tell you that no matter what beer you drink in the world, you can put the beer into one category or another, one of two categories. The first one is a category called ales. Ales are beers that are fermented at room temperature using what's known as top fermenting yeast, which just means that the yeast has a tendency to stay to the top while the beer's fermenting. Lager is the opposite of an ale. A lager is a beer that's fermented at very cold temperatures, usually about refrigerator temperatures, using bottom fermenting yeast. And then what they'll do is they'll take the beer and actually store it for up to several months at near freezing temperatures. And actually the word lager means to store. Why don't we go and try our first beer, which is the Weinsteffen Hefeweiss.
What the beer tasting involves is trying different types of beers. Today, we're going to do at least 7 courses of beers, but also each beer is accompanied by a food that will enhance the flavor of the beer. John Hansel, beer master extraordinaire, is here to describe everything for us.
What people don't realize is that beer is part of gastronomy, and it is a food. And most people, when they're used to drinking, they usually drink alone, as far as no other food with that. But what we try to teach is that a beer alone can be a good experience, but with the right foods, it can be a harmony and actually be better than the beer as if you were just drinking it by itself. And some beers are great that way.
Is this your first Feast and Foam?
Yes, it is.
Are you enjoying yourself?
I'm having a blast.
What do you think with the food going with the beer?
Awesome. Delicious. Couldn't be better.
You're a man of many words.
Well, I had too many beers.
You seem to be giving all these beers a pretty high rating here on your Elmer Suds stat sheet. What do you like the most about them so far?
It's just interesting to the contrast of the different types of beers.
Your one comment on your sheet here says that it smells like ham. What do you think?
It smelled like ham.
That's all I can say. The plethora of Boston lettuce you see in front of you will also be one of the courses that goes along with the beers today at the second annual Feast and Foam. We're with Steve Salit, General Manager, VP, owner, Chief Cook, and Bottle Washer here at Elmer Suds. Steve, this is your second Feast and Foam. How do you think it's been going so far?
So far, so good, Sean. What do you think so far?
Oh, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. We're talking to you, Steve. You're not supposed to be interviewing me. I'm interviewing you. Do you scan the area? Do you go out of the area? How do you find some of these beers?
I got to look long and hard. I travel Allentown a lot, Philadelphia, but it's hard getting a lot of these beers because they're so popular now and they're in such demand that they're not readily available as the other popular brands are. So, but it's upward and coming now, so there are going to be a lot more beers being made and a lot more beers being featured, microbrewers. So it's exciting. It's fun.
We tie in the whiskey into the beer because most people don't realize that whiskey is just distilled beer without hops. So I'm trying to teach the beer drinkers to learn more and try more whiskeys also.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed our second annual Feast and Foam here at Elmer's Suds. And remember, in the words of General Manager, Vice President, Chief Cook, and Bottle Washer here at Elmer's, Steve Salit, sometimes it's better to appreciate than intoxicate. For Out of Focus, I'm Sean the Shark.
Thanks, Shark. Boy, that food looked delicious. More Out of Focus coming up.